Gentlemen, welcome back. This is your Week 8 recap. I'm your host, Tom Ace Rothstein, owner of the Tangiers Casino, Tangiers Fantasy Baseball Team. We had a matchup of the A Division versus the B Division this week. A Division comes out on top, as predicted. I'm going to go back to my Ohtani counter back here. Ohtani hit this week, and that's it. He didn't pitch. Angels called it workload management. I think it was the commissioner of baseball, Robert Manfred, saying, listen, we need this guy Ohtani to be playing on the weekends. He was playing the Yankees this weekend. If he didn't wind up hitting on Saturday, it kind of would have taken a little bit of the ratings down, I guess. But I think baseball doesn't want him pitching on Saturdays just for the fact that he's either going into a stadium in a weekend series where he's not going to play one game, or he could possibly get rained out on Sunday, and you only see Ohtani one time on a Friday. So they call it workload management. I think it's baseball saying, listen, this guy got to pitch during the week on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, games that people really aren't going to be watching either way nationally, as opposed to some of the Saturday games that are broadcast on Fox or the Sunday Night Baseball games that are broadcast on ESPN. So baseball basically said, listen, call workload management, let him pitch during the week. Don't let him pitch on Sundays because we need him in the lineup during the weekend, just for ratings specifically. So that's what I'm taking it as. Going straight into the matchups. Gonna have to start with my matchup first, the matchup of the week. Me versus Jay Jerkin Niggas. And Jay was jerking balls over the fence this week. He had 16 home runs. Put my team in a huge hole from the get. Really didn't have a shot. Actually, no, I did have a shot. Just poor. I started really bad. I had really bad starters going this week. That killed me. Jose Altuve, though, finally breaking out, doing something. 65 points. That's big time. But Jay, his whole team is consistent. Everyone threw up over 30 points or around 30 points. Judge for 43, Jansen for 38, Salvador Perez for 37, Brett Gardner for 36, breaking out finally. Brett Gardner got that average up to 240. Jesus Aguilar, who was once a part of my casino, Jake Arrieta for 29, Max Kepler for 27, Miguel Andujar for 26, who can't fucking buy a walk for his life. Eduardo Rosario for 25, Waka Flocka Flames for 25, Solarte for 23. Definitely think I should have won this matchup. This was probably one of the lowest scoring weeks for the entire league. Didn't have anyone throw up that 600 mark that we say should win weeks, which is very odd. There really wasn't any rainouts. I think this is getting to the time of the year where you're going to see less and less two-start pitchers. Teams playing six games. Sometimes they're going to skip an ace. Not an ace, but skip their three starters, skip their four starter, where guys are depending on a double start week. I was looking for starters late in the week. I really didn't have too many options. Who did I wind up starting? I wound up benching Nick Pivetta in the beginning of the week, and he threw up 38 points. I was forced to start him at the end of the week, and he gave me 10 points. So that was the big mistake from my part. Definitely could have won. I'm not taking anything away from Jay. Jay performed. He did what he had to do. The 16 home runs is a ridiculous amount of home runs. He had 16 home runs and he scored under 600 points. So that's saying a lot, Jay. I'm telling you, your team is good. It's not that good. You could go far in the B division. You're either going to be a 2 seed or you're not making the playoffs. That's what it's going to be in that bottom division. There's not too many good teams in that division, and the teams that were good have been traded off to the A division for greener pastures. Case in point, Joey Votto. Greener pasture, he's on my team now. Case in point, everyone that had him traded to Gordo. the 9 guys he's traded to him and dropped. But I can't believe I didn't win this week. I had 3 guys go over 40, a guy go up to 60. Just my bottom guys they bottomed out big time. I got a minus 7.4 by Felipe Vasquez. I got a minus 6.2 from Zach Galli and a minus 5.5 from Gregory Polanco. And Jay had 2 negatives, and his negative was a minus 2 from Ryan Flaherty, who just had an 0 for 4 game, and a minus 0.2 from Trevor Williams. He starts Matt Harvey in Colorado. He scores 0.9. He couldn't go negative. He just had to stay positive. 0.9. That's all he needed. Tyler Chatwood gives up 3 early runs. Looking like he's going negative. Gets some strikeouts. He goes 1.3. Let's see. He had about a 3 whip. 3 earned runs. A 3 whip. A 9 ERA. He did what he had to do to win this week. And this is baseball. This is what we're going to see. We're going to see some matchups like this. Just a team that they can't get it going. Like my team, I wound up getting hurt on Sunday. No Posey, no Gene Segura. Posey misses 2 games. Segura misses 1 game. I have them in my lineup. I think I have a good shot to win. Segura's averaging over 6. I got Posey averaging like 4.5. I have a good shot to win. But Salvador Perez has come back really hot for Jay. Really like him going forward. Definitely see him being a top 5 catcher option. We're seeing the catchers really drop down now. He's averaging 4.8 right now, 9th best catcher, but he missed a lot of time. Garner could break out a little bit. I mean, he's only batting 240. He's probably like a career 275 hitter. Definitely could see him breaking back out. I think Jesus Aguilar was a great pickup, Jay. Batting 315 on the year with 9 home runs. The only thing is he's going to have a hard time with playing time going forward because they have 4 outfielders with Ryan Braun being a first baseman too. And then they have Eric Thames coming back as well. But if Aguilar is going to hit 300, he bats 3rd for that team too, so they love him. Who else? Rosario having a very good year, averaging 5.3. 11th best outfielder. Holy shit. Yeah. Nice matchup. The home runs did you in. You had guys hitting home runs nonstop. And Machado was on like the bottom of your list too, which is crazy because he only had 20 points. Just real steady week for you. If you put up 585 every week, you're going to have a decent shot to win every week. Yeah. Next matchup, Lindor Truffles versus B Strong BS. I don't know what the hell that means. But Patty, another underperforming week for you. He's trying to get Yelich for Evan Longoria. Don't think that's going to happen. I want a top 8 corner infielder. That's first base and third base. I'm talking about a real good player here. Not Evan Longoria, who's batting 240. But Patty's led by Jose Barrios for 56 points, breaking out of that little mini slump he had after 3 horrible starts. He follows that up with 3 really good starts. J.A. Happ, who's turning into a top 30 pitcher out of nowhere, averaging 20 on the year. J.T. Realmuto for 34, 7th best catcher right now, averaging 5.1. Like I said, you're going to see the catchers. The best catcher is going to average 4.5 points, I think. For the entire year, that's what it's going to be. DeGrom for 28, Blake Treinen for 31, Charlie Blackmon, the ever-so-cold Charlie Blackmon, only batting 275, way off his 330 average last year. Home runs are really up, but he's not hitting as much as he did last year. We're going to see a hot week from him soon. He's going to get that average back up to 300, then 315, then 330. It's going to happen. He plays in Colorado. It adds about 25% more stats to your total numbers. It's the Colorado effect. Anyone who goes there, their numbers get juiced up big time. Cervelli for 27, Wade Davis for 26, Cole Hamels for 24, who got hammered by Kansas City. Shouldn't be getting hammered by Kansas City. Bottom offense. Lindor for 24, cooled off a little bit, still averaging almost 6 points a game. Number 1 best shortstop. Tanner Roark for 24. Seager for 19. CJ Cron, I love what he's doing. 15 points on the week though. Seventh best first baseman right now, averaging 4.3 points, batting 260, 11 home runs, 30 RBIs, 29 runs scored. I like what he's doing. That Rays lineup is bad, but it's not that bad. With him, Willie Ramos, Denard Span, Joey Wendell, not that bad of a lineup, but still pretty bad. But Massey is led by none other than Mike Trout, who I've offered a few trades for him. See if Massey bites on the offers. I don't think he will. I hope he does. Trout with 60.6 points with 8 hits, 3 of them being home runs. Travis Shaw for 59. He is the number 2 best third baseman. He's averaging 5 a game. Dylan Bundy for 51. Bundy snapped out of it, I think, after those. I mean, he had like 4 or 5 really bad starts. One start being he didn't even register an out with a minus 16.5. I think that's the lowest we're going to see a pitcher ever do in probably any league. I mean, that's really, really bad. But yeah, 51 points after a complete game against the White Sox. Shin-Chu Chu for 43. Hot week for him. He gets on base a ton. He scores. He's bats at the top of that lineup. He's so blah though. Like I hate owning him. Like he's gonna wind up averaging 4.4, 4.5 points a game for the entire year. It's not gonna be pretty. He's not gonna be putting up 18 points, 20-point matchups games, but he'll put up those 6s, those 7s, the 2, the 9, the 1, the 6, and he'll keep going back and forth like that. Perennial 1-for-4 guy with an RBI and a run scored, with a single. Eugenio Suarez, who I think he leads the league in RBIs. He's been absolutely on fire ever since coming off the DL. 8th best third baseman right now, averaging 5.8 points a game. He missed about a month, I think, but he's crushing. James Paxton with 37. He's the 4th best starter right now. When did Massey get him? Massey's got 3 starts with him. One start, 2 really good starts. Paxton's looking like the real deal. Really questioning his innings. I don't know if he's gonna go 220 this year. Could see 180, could see 190, maybe 200, but 220 is a lot for a pitcher to throw who's never done it before. Andrelton Simmons for 36, 3rd best shortstop, averaging 5.7 a game. He's another player that wasn't highly looked at as being a perennial shortstop to be picked in the top 15 rounds. He gets drafted 120, and he's producing with like a 3rd round value right now, averaging 5.7 a game. His defense is spectacular. He's batting 337. I don't know if he's going to keep that average up. That's really high for him. I think he's like a career 280, 270 hitter. Definitely a time to sell, Mash. Think about it. Javier Baez for 35, averaging 5.9. He's a stud. Brandon Crawford, who is absolutely on fire right now. I think he's batting 500 his last 15 games. Only averaging 4 in the year though, but he's been on fire. You look up his last 2 weeks and you're gonna be like, wow, this guy is raking right now. He still bats low in that lineup, which is kind of weird considering that they have Evan Longoria batting higher than him, and Evan Longoria sucks, and Andrew McCutcheon batting higher than him, and Andrew McCutcheon sucks. Yeah, definitely think he should be batting higher. And the Peraza, who was a pariah on my team, we had to get him off. He wasn't that good. Averaging 3.7 on the year. He's decent. Nothing to write home about. Definitely wouldn't want him starting on my team, put it that way. Yeah, that's it. JD Martinez with an off week last week. Of course, he hits a home run against me yesterday. Not surprised. We got the next matchup, the Carpenters versus La Familia. Petey Buckets versus my man, Joshua Maralabanos. Petey Buckets with Austin Meadows leading his team. The fucking rookie phenom, Austin Meadows. He's going to have a tough time continuing doing what he's doing. Marte's back, activated off the DL. They said they're gonna be doing a 4-man outfield rotation. Probably gonna wind up stealing Gregory Polanco's job because Polanco has been absolutely dog shit this year. He's batting like 200. Definitely could see Meadows getting a lot of at bats. He's a young, fresh prospect. He's been on their prospect watch list for years. Could never get it together in Double A and Triple A. Really low OPS, and he comes to the majors and he does exactly the opposite of what he's been doing in the minors. Really, really good stuff from seeing him do the shit. Fucking guy. Michael Brantley for 40. He's averaging 6.5 on the year. What? 9th best outfielder right now. Wow. Michael Brantley. Who would have thought? Let's see when he was drafted. 257. Right after the 259th, I took Clevenger. So I can't really be that mad. Chris Taylor for 36. He's been on a few teams. He's starting to pick things back up. They're getting a little bit more protection on lineup with Justin Turner back, so I could see him picking his shit back up. He was like a 300 hitter last year. He's fine. Bryce Harper for 36. Harper's batting 228 right now. It's an ugly 228. But he has 16 home runs. So 38 RBIs, 34 runs scored. On-base phenom, 400 on-base percentage. Still getting on-base a ton, getting walked. I would love to see him in the Yankees lineup because, let's face it, he has no protection. They don't even have Murphy back yet. You got a guy, fat Matt Adams, probably batting behind him sometimes. They lead him off. They don't know where to bat him. This guy Harper. Ross Stripling for 36. Pete has been picking up pitchers left and right. Ever since Robbie Ray gets hurt, Pete is he's like a hawk on the wire. It looks like every single week he's scrambling for 4 starters. Stripling being one of them this week. 35 points, 6.2 innings pitched, 10 Ks. He played San Diego. See, Pete plays the matchups. I know what he does. Matt Carpenter for 33, still batting 220. Really disappointing year for him. Asdrubal Cabrera for 32, 7th best shortstop right now, averaging 5 a game. Willie Ramos for 27. He's been on an absolute tear. He missed a little bit of time. He's the 8th best catcher right now, averaging 4 a game. Batting 310 though. Corey Dickerson for 27. Gio Gonzalez for 25. Syndergaard for 24. Goldschmidt for 20. He looks like shit, Goldschmidt. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's batting 200 right now, averaging 3.1 points. The opportunity to buy low on him has been there, and it's just getting lower and lower. I don't know if Pete even has it in him to trade him for a stud, because I don't think he's even worth it anymore. I don't know what the fuck happened with him. You don't have Pollock in that lineup anymore, so you know they're not pitching to Goldschmidt at all. I don't like what he's doing, Goldschmidt. Didi for 17, kind of broke out of the funk. He had 3 hits this week instead of 1. But he had 17 points, so that's pretty good. Yeah, that's it. Looking at Joshua's team. Trevor Bauer for 49 points. Trevor Jack Bauer, 12th best pitcher in baseball right now. 23.4 points. He's a K monster. He's a baseball nerd. He really delves into all these sabermetric stuff. Real smart considering how the beginning of his career, we heard he was really good. He was a phenom. He sucked, and then all of a sudden he learns and learns and learns more and more about how to pitch and how it works. There's physics involved and shit. And now this guy has been one of the best pitchers in the first half of the season. Anthony Rendon for 34, coming off the DL, I think last week. He's averaging 4.7, so respectable. Definitely want to see him averaging a little bit more, but he's been hurt. He had like a bruised toe. I don't know what the fuck that is. He was on the DL for like 15, 20 days. Guy had a black and blue on his toe, and he's out. Justin Verlander, who might be the best pitcher in baseball right now. If he plays the Yankees every week, his stats would be ridiculous. Because the Yankees can't hit him. Like, his last 5 starts against the Yankees are ridiculous. He's given up like 4 earned runs in his last 5 starts. Actually, might be less than that. It might be like 2 earned runs, something stupid. But he is the number one best pitcher right now, averaging 31 points, 111 ERA, .71 WHIP, 98 Ks, 7-2 on the young year. He has more starts than earned runs. Okay, he has 12 starts, 10 earned runs given up. Okay, 12 starts, 10 earned runs given up. This guy has a serious chance to go under two. To have an under 2 ERA. I didn't think it was going to be him. I thought it was going to be someone else, but I really think he's going to do it. He's got a great shot to win the Cy Young right now. He's given himself a real nice lead. He could get hammered these next 3 starts, giving up 5-6 runs, and his ERA will probably still be under like a 2.5, which is absurd considering how far we are along into the season. Juan Soto for 30, averaging 4.4. Good for the kid. I mean, he's 19. I mean, it's really hard being productive as a 19-year-old. We see with Acuna, who went down in a wheelchair and was running sprints in the outfield later in the day, which is great. But yeah, you're gonna have the up and downs. I've seen it with Acuna, the 0 for 4s with 3 strikeouts. You're gonna get it with Soto. You just can't be the best player in baseball at 19 years old. Let's face it. You could be a really good player. You could be productive. You could be a fantasy asset, but you're not going to be one of the best outfielders in the game. It's too hard. He's not big enough. He's not built. He's still growing into his body. Acuna too. All these young guys and young studs like Vlad Guerrero Jr. He's still growing into his body. I don't think the Jays are gonna rush him at all. I think they're gonna baby him. They're gonna coddle him. They're gonna say, "Listen, wait till you're 20 years old. Wait till you're 21 years old. We'll bring you up." Actually, you know what? Now that Donaldson's hurt, and if he is going on the DL, it might give him incentive to call him up. I mean, they're not far out of a wild card spot. It's still early in the year. You get a nice injection of young talent. Kid's gonna be a stud, Vlad Jr. Petey has him too, motherfucker. Tanaka for 21. Nobody wants Tanaka. He's been traded twice already. This is his third team. Hopefully, he sticks over here with La Familia. But we're seeing with Tanaka, he's great when no one's on base, but when he's out of the stretch, his ERA, his batting average against, his slugging percentage against, it goes up. It almost doubles. The stats are ridiculous. His batting average with people on base is like 350, I think. His slugging percentage is like 560, 600. Guys are crushing the ball with runners on base against them. Might be you just can't pitch out of the stretch. You got to learn how to pitch out of the stretch. So you're a starter. You know you're going to have guys on base. You got to pitch out of the stretch. Fucking find it, Tanaka, all right? But he pitched really well against the Angels. He owns Ohtani. Ohtani is like 0 for 15 against him with like 8 strikeouts, going back to Japan, the old country. Tanaka had, I think, 2 against him. Ohtani looked like a fool against Tanaka's son. Hi. Correa for 26. Mike Leake, great start for 24. That was a really, really good start. Didn't get the win, though. Did he? Yeah, he got the win. No K, only 2 Ks. That sucks. That's why it was so low. But 8 innings pitched, only giving up a run. Really good. Encarnacion for 22. Is he heating up? I don't know. He's batting .228. We see his last 4 years, his average has decreased 10 points every single year. I think he was down to like a .245 last year. I mean, but if you keep going down, he's going to be a .235 hitter. But we know what these guys do. These streaky Hispanic players, these Dominicans, they juice. And Carlos Gomez was the one to say, listen, the MLB has it out for us. They're catching us all the time, and they're not catching anyone else. So who's doing something wrong, Carlos Gomez? It's you guys. You're getting the drugs. You're taking it in the DR in the fall when it's 90 degrees out, and you're taking a cycle or 2 in the wintertime in the California Pinot Leagues, and you're rocking the ball, okay? You're batting .450 in the Arizona Fall League. You come up in spring training, you're still raking, and then all of a sudden the year begins and your mind's not there anymore because you're facing an 80-game suspension because you got popped for BEDs. So, I mean, it happened to Starling Marte last year. He knew he was getting caught. He knew he got caught. He just appealed it. So when you appeal it, nothing goes out. They don't say anything. But he knew he got caught before the season started. He started off really, really slow, and then it comes out, oh, this guy, he's getting suspended 80 games. Well, this is what happens with players. Wellington Castillo being one of them. We saw how he started off a little slow this year as well, because he probably fucking knew he was gonna get popped. Brandon Belt for 21. Love Brandon Belt. He's the second best first baseman. First basemen have not been good this year at all. I got the number one guy, Freddie Freeman, baby. Huge Freddie Freeman guy. But yeah, first baseman has not been a great fantasy spot as it has been in the past, where we've had guys who are perennial 30 home run guys. We haven't really seen it this year at all. Next matchup, I beg your pardon, Gordas versus the Chicago White Sox. Gordas win the A division, bringing home a clutch win for us. Gordas is led by Mike Foltynewicz. Holy shit, 47 points. What'd he do? 2 decent starts. 2 quality starts. Nice K ratio. About a K an inning right there. Not bad. 47.7 points. Alex Bregman for 46. Tried to buy low on him. Couldn't do it. Yeah. Is he hurt? No, he's not hurt. He just didn't play. Yeah, tried buying low on him. I think the time to buy low on him is over. He started off the season really slow. He had a really good week last week. Nick Castellanos, 40 points. He is averaging 5.1 on the year. He's batting .322. The home runs are down, but the average is way up. It's good to see that. The only thing is he's in a bad lineup. Miguel Cabrera, I don't know when he's coming back. They said he's coming back sometime in the next 9-game homestand. So that gives a nice timeline. It's either today or it's fucking next week. But it's gonna help having him back in the lineup. Miguel Cabrera is always he's on base a lot, driving guys in. Castellanos is probably gonna bat behind him. Gonna have nice opportunities ahead of him with Cabrera back. Kimbrel for 36, 5th best closer right now. Ozuna finally had a decent week. Nice, good for him. 33 points, averaging 3.6 on the year though, so not looking like a good trade for the Cardinals or Gordo at this point. But Kershaw was hurt. I give it to you, Gordo. He did get hurt, missed a month. But to be honest with you, I'd rather Kershaw hurt on the DL, knowing I'm getting him back, than what Ozuna has been doing for you. Because he's been averaging 3.6 points for the longest time. It's not good. It's not looking good for him. What is he? The 43rd best outfielder who plays every day is not a good look at this point of his career. Whit Merrifield for 32. He's heating back up. Kluber for 26. Try buying low on him. But it's not even buying low. I gave a fair offer, I think. I gave a guy who's averaging over 6.5 points, who last year averaged 6 points for the entire year, which is ridiculous. There was about 5 other guys who did it, him being one of them. Who else? Oh, you got Rizzo. Rizzo is probably one of the I've seen one of the dirtiest plays in a while. It was a play at the plate. I think it was bases loaded, ground ball to short, 1 out. Was it? I don't know. Whatever it was. Shortstop goes to home to get Rizzo. Catcher goes to catch the ball. Rizzo takes a fucking wide slide. Catcher goes to catch the ball like this to the shortstop. Rizzo takes a wide slide into the field of play. Takes out this poor guy's leg. Guy goes down in a heap of pain. They pick the ball up. They throw it down the right field line. 2 other runs scored. Really dirty play from Rizzo. I hope he gets some type of fine, maybe suspension. Dirty fucking play though. Really don't like it. Really, I'm not even mad that I hoped he got cancer, because he's horrible. What he did. That was a dirty play from a dirty player. Benintendi for 26 though. He is looking like a stud. He is not what I thought he would be at all. He's hitting lefties finally. He's averaging 6.2 points. He had 2 games this weekend where he was a double away from the cycle, okay? Very hard to do. to just be a double away from the cycle. He's really fucking good. And Gordy only started him one game this week too. He only started him for one of those games. He had another 21 points. Then you forgot to have him in your lineup. I don't know why. I'm not going to ask questions. You had him on the bench. It's all right. Shoot for 26. Good to see Shoot back. Hopefully he can shoot the hoop. But he's not looking that good right now. That Orioles offense is anemic at best. They're led by Adam Jones, who is just an average man doing average things. Batting 280. He's going to hit his 20 home runs. He's going to drive in his 80 runs. He's going to have a decent season. But that's about it. They're not going to have... Chris Davis is still in that lineup for some reason. He's batting about 155. I have no clue why he's even in the majors anymore. They paid him a ton of money, so they're just saying, we have to start him. We owe him so much money. But that Orioles lineup is really bad, and Troup is going to suffer from that a lot. Donaldson on your team this week. You traded him, though. He goes out with 20 points. Keuchel for 20. Nice week, Gordo. Decent. No one really had a good week. You had a solid week. Looking at Tyler and Max's team, another loss. They are at the bottom of the pile right now. Them and Jay are tied for last place, but anything can happen. They're only 2 games out, both of the teams. So we're looking. We're being optimistic. We're not being pessimistic at this point. But Walker Buehler is looking like a stud. He's scored 58 points this week. He's averaging 21 points on the year. 2.20 ERA, high strikeout guy. The only thing I question, does he have what it takes to go 6-7 innings every game? It looks like they're babying him a little bit. They don't want to see a high pitch count from him. I don't know if he's going to be on an innings limit. I didn't hear anything yet about that, but there could be an innings limit with him. But you see these games with 5 innings pitched, giving up 2 earned runs against San Francisco. Like, it's a good start, decent start. You don't get the quality start. That makes the start way so much better. So I like him. I don't love him. I like him a lot, though. I own him in another league. He's great. The strikeouts are just great. But, yeah, I don't see him going too far into games like I see other guys going. He's had 2 games, back-to-back games with 7 innings pitched, but he's played really bad offenses in those games. The Padres are a horrible offense. The Rockies are a horrible offense when they're on the road. At home, it's a different story. On the road, they're horrible. Their home-away splits are ridiculous. Like I said, there's a Coors Field effect for a lot of players that play there. It's 20% bump either way. Guys literally bat 40 points lower, 50 points lower on the road there. Even Arenado is not good on the road. It just happens. Jose Abreu for 48, third best first baseman right now. He's batting 308, nice solid year, averaging 5.2 points. You can't really complain about that. Lorenzo Cain for 47, 15th best outfielder right now. Lorenzo Cain, good for you. He's been in the lineup every day. You're going to see the guys who are in the lineup every day, they're going to have high position ranks. Him being one of them. He's in the lineup every single day. He's their starting center fielder. He is a stud. Chris Sale for 39. Sale had a 2-start week. He got hammered by the Braves, giving up 6 runs. You're going to see a lot of managers benching their pitchers against the Braves now. Their offense is really good. You got Freeman, you got Albies, Acuna's hurt. Markakis is having a career year, and he's like 40 years old. They hit from top to bottom. Dansby Swanson's really good. They got a really nice young team, but I guarantee you're going to see managers benching their guys against the Braves. I mean, you're not going to bench Chris Sale because you never bench Chris Sale, but you're going to see the middle options. You're going to say, playing in Atlanta, the over-under of this game is 9.5. Why is it so high? I'm not going with it. I'm not going with this pitcher. And go with a pitcher, and he gives up 4 or 5 runs, and that's all it takes. You don't want guys giving up 3 runs in a start. You give up 3 runs, you do not have a good chance to get a quality start. And the Braves they're one of the best offenses in the National League right now. Who would have thought? Blake Snell for 31. Jameson Taillon double start for 30. Carlos Santana for 30. Kyle Hendricks 30. Can't believe he was dropped. Averaging 18.3 points a game. Had a few bad starts in the beginning. Really not a high K guy, but he actually has not been that bad this year. Decent, nothing crazy, but he's a really good back end option to have on your team. A nice 4-5 starter, top 40 option. Really, really good arm to have. David Price for 28. Is he turning things around? I hope so, because I own him in another league, and guy has got to stop playing Fortnite. That's simply it. Stop playing Fortnite. You're a professional baseball player. Take the ball, throw the ball fucking 94 miles per hour down the plate. Alright, don't play fucking Fortnite building these fucking fortresses. I don't give a shit. The game sucks. It's a free game. It's not that good. Okay, guys? Arenado for 24. Where was he? Was he on the... No, he was at home for half the week. Batting 318, 10 home runs, 29 RBIs. There's going to be like a week and a half where he's home. I don't know if it's this week. Actually, it's last week going into this week. We're going to see his stats just fucking... He's going to go bonkers. He's going to have like a 4-for-6 game with 2 home runs, a triple, 6 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and throwing a double. He's going to do it. Jack Flaherty for 22. Black Jack Flaherty, ex-member of the Tangiers Incorporated. We had to kick him off. He was too clean cut. We couldn't have a Roman Catholic on the team. We're a ragtag bunch of guys, real big, huge Jews, shysters. We do whatever we can. A lot of Italians, but we're not that type of Italian. We're not the Roman Catholic Italian, okay? We're the horns type Italian. We're the fucking, you know what I'm saying? The fucking Malok. That's what we are. But yeah, Blackjack Flaherty, he's looking really good. Really hope he stays in that rotation. I know Alex Reyes is coming up, but I don't think he's the guy to lose his job. I think John Gant is the guy to lose his job just because I haven't heard anyone last name Gant since Ron Gant, and he sucked. So John Gant has to suck. Jake Lamb for 19, Schwarber for 19, Justin Turner back for 15. Starting off slow, but he had a little wrist impingement, so you got to give that time to warm up. He might not have the power this year. We have seen guys hurt their wrist, and they don't have the power, besides Freddie Freeman last year, because he always has the power. And then we go into our last matchup. The best team in the league, Capo di Tutti Capi, Jack Giannini, my mother's ass, first place. Okay? 593. Jack's the lead scorer this week with 593 points. And he goes against Hoyt Poiminent, who has been hoiting me Poiminent the entire year. Okay? 481. Low score of the year for him, probably. Real bad week. But looking at Jack, Scooter Gennett for 62 points. He is turning into a really good ball player. I don't know what it was that helped him. Maybe going to Cincinnati, going into a really good hitter's park for lefties, has helped him out tremendously. Jack got him in the last round of the draft. Probably one of the best picks per value sake in the entire draft. 62 points on the week, averaging 5.2. Fourth best second baseman right now. Second baseman is a very deep spot in fantasy. George Springer for 54. Springer does Springer things. He's averaging 5.4 on the year. I hate how they lead him off, but it doesn't really matter if you're hitting the home runs, driving the runs in, and scoring the runs. Garrett Cole for 53 on a double start. Gets bumped down to the second best. After 2 decent starts, he gets bumped down to the second best pitcher just because Verlander is Verlander. Tim Anderson for 40. Mookie Betts for 37.5. He's a little banged up right now. Calling it a little side injury. Should return in action on Tuesday. Good. Averaging 8.4 points a game. Absolutely absurd. Can't see him averaging over 7 a game. If he does, he's going to have a career monster year that no one has ever seen before. Sorry about that, Jack. I got cut off. Where was I? Mookie Betts, yeah. averaging 8.4 on the year. If he does this for the entire year, we're going to see one of the best seasons of all time. Tim Anderson, though, for 40 points. He's got 11 home runs and 11 stolen bases. Definitely an opportunity for 25 and 25 for him. Outside chance for 30-30. He's stealing a lot of bases, though. He's running. He's gunning. He's only averaging 4 on the year, but he's put together some really good weeks, this week being one of them. Only batting 240, though. Trey Turner for 31. Conforto doing what Jackie G hopes he keeps doing. 29.7 points. Got the average up to 240. He's getting his timing down as Jack has hoped for. He's starting to hit more. Good for him. Jermaine Marquez for 28. Greinke for 27. Markakis for 27. Almost had a deal, Jack. I don't want Markakis, though. I think it's a fluke what he's doing. I think he's going to come back down to earth. He's never been a 340 hitter his entire career. You don't just start doing it now. Dozier for 26. Knebel for 26. Gallup for 23. Alonso for 23. Very nice week, Jackie. Looking at Adam's team, Gleyber Torres is a fucking stud. Averaging 5.1 on the year. They batted him 5th this weekend, which is really nice to see. It's sad to see such a good player on your team, Adam, because your team could have been so good. You had a chance. You really did. You still do, but you had a chance to be one of the best in the league. If you kept everyone, I think you're probably the best team right now. But like I said, still a lot of season left. You're only 2 games behind. Don't let that really affect you. You got Gleyber. Like I said, there's going to be these call-ups that are going to happen during the year. You're just going to get a stud like Gleyber Torres has been. Is he going to hit 25 home runs? I think he has a chance. He's got 9 home runs already on the year in limited time. The youngest player in the AL history to have a home run in 4 straight games. He's really something special. Really good to see. One of our homegrown guys that we got in a trade, but still a homegrown guy that we're not paying that much, producing at such a high level already, and he's 21 years old. Jerickson Profar for 44. He's been playing shortstop since Andrews has gotten hurt. He's looking really good, hitting well the past 2 weeks. Only batting 234 though. That average is rising big time though. Adam Jones, the king of batting 280, with 34 points, averaging 4.1 of the year. Nothing spectacular. He's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to bat the 280. He's going to hit the 20 home runs. He's going to drive in the 80 runs. We're going to see it. It's guaranteed. He does it every year. He's nothing to write home about. He's not going to win you anything, but he's going to be there. He's going to be on your team. You got to keep him. Definitely a good, nice player to own. A guy you could always plug in knowing you're going to get points out of him some way, somehow. Tyson Ross for 31. Corbin for 29. Cooling down a little bit. The K rate has dropped about 10% since you basically traded for him like the past month. But he's still producing really well. Still a top 10 pitcher. 29 points this week. Yolmer Sanchez for 25. Charlie Morton for 23. 11th best pitcher. You have some really good arms still. Chapman for 23. Fernando Romero, averaging 17.6 on the year. Another guy, you don't see him go deep into games. 7 innings being the most he's ever pitched. He might be on an innings limit. Nice pitcher to own, though. Don't get me wrong. Nice back-end starter. Pujols for 22. Bartolo going for 19. Oh, God. Jesus, Bartolo still doing it. Jacob Junis, who you try trading everyone for their best player. I like the idea. Holiday weekend, guys are a little drunk. They fuck up sometimes. They click the wrong thing, and then next thing you know, they wake up the next morning and Jacob Junis is on their roster instead of their best player. So I like the moves. I like it a lot. Yeah. But you definitely have a shot. Everyone still has a shot at this point of the year. You go on a little win streak, you win 2-3 games. The guys in front of you lose a game, 2-3 games. Next thing you know, you're in a playoff spot. Very interesting week this week. I got Mashy. I'm already beating that ass big time with Trevor Cahill throwing an absolute gem last night with a no decision, but it's all right. But guys, I will see you next week. Same place, same time. You know the routine. Yeah. Peace out.